Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another political episode. So we got major news and a major win coming from the country of Poland, a country in which is embroiled in European establishment politics. And we can officially say that Poland is trending in the direction of Hungary. We're seeing here that Karol Nawrocki has officially won the presidential election, beating the odds of possibly, I want to believe, going back a couple videos ago, I predicted that the mayor of Warsaw would have won, but Nawrocki won by on a knife edge, and officially he will be the next president of Poland. He is an anti-establishment, law and order affiliating president of Poland. He is going to get Poland back on track with President Trump, and obviously I'm looking forward to him being president. Now, what's the expectations of his presidency? Now, we got to understand that Poland is a country where you just have to be against Russia. And aren't we all? I mean, I'm against Russia, but I'm also against Europe. I'm going to call out the BS, okay? Even on my own side. And I'm calling out, of course, the BS in the NATO coalition and the European Union. Poland has been drinking the Kool-Aid of the EU lately. But really, Poland has very I wouldn't say anti-Western, but very anti-LGBT values, very Christian nationalist values. Gay marriage is somewhat is illegal in Poland. The values are very similar to Viktor Orban's Hungary, and I would say Slovakia, although Slovakia is anti-establishment and left-wing, but very similar to Hungary in a way. Then again, it was a communist country for a while, and they know how quickly it could be and how it will become if the establishment were to retake power. And you could say, yeah, the establishment under Duda, President Duda, was he an establishment pawn? Well, we saw, according to, actually, no, Duda was a part of the law and order, but law and justice, support of law and justice. But I don't know why the conservative, why the numbers were saying that relations were falling. But I want relations to rise with Poland, and obviously we have to expect that Poland is going to continue to back Ukraine. Obviously, they have to back Ukraine for national security reasons, because they already have Belarus to worry about. And I understand that. If you are in Poland's situation, you would have to get behind that. Ukraine's like Poland's Israel in a way, and Belarus is like Iran to Poland, and Russia, Iran, or China, or Syria, whatever you want to say in this situation. But obviously, I'm looking at the results. It's pretty overwhelming victory for Nawrocki. Karol Nawrocki, he won by just over a point of a margin. That's pretty good, looking at this said result. And you'll see, once again, not really different compared to the first round. You'll see all the regions and the states of Poland, they voted in every state. It was the same, although the constituencies were much different now. You'll see Nawrocki was gaining more in the said former German areas, which Rafał, the mayor of Warsaw, did very good in the first round. And reasons why that's the case, I've already made the indications why. I've talked about those historical regions, why they used to be a part of Germany, Silesia, Upper Silesia, Lower Silesia. these regions used to be are now Polified in favors in Poland. However, these still communities, I would say some of them could be Germans that are backing Rafal. But it's mainly these pure Polish areas, like right over here, Eastern Poland. They are overwhelmingly favor for law and justice. We've seen this kind of been the case in multiple election results. Although you'll see by constituency very similar. Law and justice in blue always does very better in the East. It's mainly a Polish nationalist political party. Obviously it's expected that pure Polish areas, Slavic Polish areas that historically have always been Polish would do better. Law and justice would do better here. Not necessarily. Although they're Polish now, they're not going to do as good over here. And in fact, being smacked by woke Berlin and Germany, woke Germany, you could expect that it's going to be more mediocre, although it is pretty conservative over there. Yes, you'll see, since 2005, Poland has had right-wing political parties running in these elections, into the general election. No left-wing president or any left-wing political party has actually made it to the general or carried a single constituency. You'll see since 2000, I want to believe 2000, you can say it's in red. I don't know for sure what party does. SLD. Yes, this Democratic Left Alliance. Okay, so since 2000, going on to 2005, Poland made a dramatic swing to the right. They eliminated, kicked out all left-wing political parties, making it impossible for them to carry a single constituency. They are now in the double digits. And you'll say early 2000s, 1990s, Poland was somewhat leaning to socialism, somewhat. They're not going to go wake up after the Cold War and say, we're free! We're going to convert to capitalism or conservatism now. No, a lot of people were still leanings of socialism because they grew up under it. And this obviously was the ideology. Now we're in communist Poland. But you'll see that's always been the case. But we see a very different Poland now, very conservative. You'll see Nawrocki ran on this Christian nationalist and culturally conservative platform against Donald Tusk's ruling coalition. You can clearly see that Donald Tusk, who is, I would say, well, yeah, he's the ruling coalition, yes, in the party. Interesting, yeah. Donald Tusk is not a part of the Law and Justice, but he is the Prime Minister of Poland. And who has the power in Poland right now? And you'll see even when The Guardian is actually freaking out about this. So it says, right-wing... Okay, these are from declarations here. I want to see the article, though. Is there an article from... We know how unhinged The Guardian is. Calls to renegotiate the coalition agreement after victory. I don't think they're denying the election results, but they're obviously not happy that Nawrocki is the winner. And we know that part of the recalls of the coalition is being negotiated and pushed by European establishments. Yup. And obviously, we have to expect more of this because Poland is an influential country for the European establishment. Let's be honest. They're right by Russia and Belarus, and they're basically the wall. Okay, wall that keeps Belarus and Russia out. And if that wall falls, then they're inching closer and closer to the West. That's why Ukraine's so pivotal to the West. If Ukraine falls, it gets closer and closer. They're moving westward. And they don't want Russia to regain that former areas. That's why they're so mad at Hungary. Because you could say, oh, Hungary is already... If Hungary leaves NATO... That's bad for the European establishment. And to be honest, I kind of do want them. But and then again, I don't know why Hungary is even bothering. Like, seriously. Austria is not even a part of NATO. Like, seriously. Why does Hungary, which is politically opposite to Austria, feel committed to be a part of an alliance that's ideologically not in their favor? So... absolutely, if Hungary goes, Poland goes, and let's be honest, Poland's not going to leave. They kind of need, Poland kind of needs NATO, because of Belarus. But, obviously, they're not happy about this, but... although the establishment leaders are coming out, they're congratulating, but they're panicking behind closed doors. We know they are. This is their grift. But looking at said results, I forgot what I was doing originally. Well, yes, we were looking up the previous who's really the head of state of leaders of the world. So I think it's the Prime Minister, okay? The Prime Minister of Poland. So although it's a big win, but Donald Tusk is the Prime Minister of Poland, okay? So it's, and he's very establishment, okay? And although the president, we had a big win in the presidency, the president of Poland doesn't have any power in regards to the country's alignment with the world. So very well, Poland's going to be very chatty with the woke extreme countries of Europe, France, Germany, the UK, the establishment. There's nothing's going to change, but you'll have this influential voice in the anti-establishment in a very powerful position in the government that's going to influence and possibly take the Tusk coalition out of power. And I am 100% for it. Because, yeah, Tusk, he comes from an influential background. And I think, yeah, we've seen absolutely Polish nationalism rising up. This is not good for Tusk. And whenever that next election will be for Poland, Polish general election. When's that next election? Because there will be a parliamentary election. PIS, yeah, and PIS always wins the popular vote, it looks like. 2023, that was the last one. Yeah, and you'll see, PIS, which is Law and Justice, they took a dip down. They lost 41 seats. Donald Tusk's PO gained 23 seats. And they won that election despite losing the popular vote. So, absolutely. And yeah, you'll see Law and Justice actually does way better in this election when it comes to winning provinces, areas, than actually winning in the presidential race. But, this is the Senate, though. But that next election is going to be 2 years. It's by November 11th. So we have a while, but obviously if Tusk is out, then that's bad for him, obviously, and I would rather prefer that. But anyway, what do you guys think in regards to this video? Huge win, despite it not being a big win. I mean, Poland's still going to be flirting with the establishment. Relations are still dipping with the United States. But it's really Donald Tusk. It's really, we know from the results that obviously this is an indictment against Tusk. This isn't because we know the Trump effect is not working in Poland. The people of Poland strongly back Donald J. Trump. They support what he's doing. They don't think war is the answer. Yeah, they stand against Putin. They kind of have to. But they also are critical of their own government. They're also critical of the Tusk coalition. But anyway, what do you guys think in regards to this video? Let me know down below. And as always, I'll see you all in the next political episode.